First of all, I wanted to say, Mr. Mechai, congratulations on your honorary doctorate from the University of Warwick. Now, you have many accomplishments. You're a former politician, an activist, and in Thailand, one of the things that you're known for most of all is promoting condoms and family planning and AIDS awareness. And one thing that amused me is when we just met earlier, you gave me this, how would you describe it?
Well, it's a memory stick, but we call it a memory dick because it's shaped like a condom.
That's it, because you are known affectionately as Mr. Condom, aren't you? And it's because your work has seen the number of children in Thai families decrease from 7 to an average of 1.5. So, of your many achievements that have helped people in Thailand, which do you think is your greatest and why?
Well, firstly, in terms of inequalities that countries, developing countries, poor countries face, a myriad, but definitely one of them, a part of inequalities, hunger, is overpopulation. And unless we can manage our population to match our resources, then development will never be achieved. And you can see some countries, let me compare Philippines and Thailand were the same 40 years ago at 36 million. Today we are 63 and they are 105 during the same period because we had family planning and they didn't. So their poor are more numerous than ours, and the share of the cake is even smaller than before. So we felt that to be able to do other things in terms of other inequalities, injustices, we need to reduce the population growth rate and then to try to manage to improve other things. So we did that as a first step. And unfortunately, we achieved a lot. And then the AIDS epidemic came, and we had to stop that and move on to try to get rid of HIV as much as possible. There were no cures. So we were very, very strong in convincing the government to work with us, and I became a member of the cabinet to try to tackle it, because it was estimated that we would have between 2 and 4 million infections between the year 1990 and the year 2000. And so we felt it was very important. So we did everything we could. Everyone was involved, the business community, schools, from university students training younger brothers and sisters in secondary school, going on to primary schools. And in the end, because of this publicity all the time, every radio program and television had to have half a minute AIDS education every hour of broadcast, and they were given extra time for advertising. And in the 12 years, according to UNAIDS, there was a decline in 90% in new infections. And according to the World Bank, in not 2 to 4 million, but they said that during this period, 7.7 million people had been prevented from being infected. Imagine had we not worked on it, where Thailand would be. We would have lost about 3 Singapore's worth of population. And then we went on to poverty eradication, with partnering with the business community to help the poor get out of poverty, because the only road out of poverty is through business enterprise, not charity. And then a very important element is self-sufficiency to a great extent. That is, we set up social enterprises to establish businesses, and the profits would be used to run our non-profit organizations. And then our latest is establishment of the Bamboo School to change the face of rural Thai education, where it serves, the school will serve not only children but everybody else in the community at different times. And the school acts as a hub or an engine of change for poverty eradication and social and economic advancement.
The school, this is quite a new thing, isn't it? This is the latest project that you're working on.
Yes, the latest we've been working on for 9 years.
9 years. And going back to some of those other figures that you mentioned about the amount of the population that you've saved and the decrease in family size from 7 to an average of 1.5. You've been incredibly influential. What do you think is your secret? How have you managed to achieve this?
Well, the first one is to identify the problem and to explain to the public what the problems are and how we would like them to be involved. One of the most important things, I involve the people that had lots of children, rather than say, they're your target audience, we're going to attack. No, say, we need your help. Do you believe that you would like to have the number of children you can care for? They all agree. says, okay, let's work together. So we got them to help us to influence other people, and in so doing, they influence themselves. So cooperation with a target audience that we want to work with, that's a very, very important one. So identify the problem, explain in very, very simple terms, and get them to be involved in making these changes in attitudes and in behavior. All the things we've done is done that way. And where possible, we don't give up. We take no as a question rather than as an answer. And where possible, we use humor. And that's been a very, very important element of getting people to accept what we do.
I'm glad you mentioned the humour. I mean, the memory stick, obviously that's a humorous thing to give to people and to produce as part of your campaigns. But you started your campaigning in 1974, I think it was, and you've managed to make condoms part of popular culture. You were telling me earlier about this. Did you think when you started back in the 1970s that you'd be able to achieve that? Are you surprised at your success?
I'm delighted with the success. I guess you could say surprised, but I never thought that I would fail, because I took no as a question rather than as an answer. And whenever people disagreed with me, I would have to ask myself, did I explain that too poorly? Or was it that they just weren't interested? And so we have to find out and keep going and going, like water on a stone. It'll wear down the stone. Never fight back. Never fight back. Be polite, humble, and smile, and add some humor where possible. I wanted it to succeed because we had to succeed. I didn't feel that, yes, we're going to succeed. The issue was, yes, we have to work hard and we have to succeed. There's no alternative.
And finally, for any of our students who graduated today, they're going to be embarking on careers. Do you have any advice for them?
Very, very important one is that you will succeed, but let's hope on your way to success, you're also helping somebody else. The first gift is not material or cash, but it's your generosity of heart and advice. So help other people, either from helping them with your advice, your suggestions, your teaching, and then later on when you have capital, you can do other things. So the world needs people who have. So the slogan of our school is that the more you give, the more you get.
And I wanted to ask you today, you received an honorary doctorate from the University of Warwick. What does that mean to you?
Well, it's a great honor. It's very humbling. I've never felt that I deserved anything. I did it because it needed to be done. I did it, and I had fun doing it, and we had lots of people working. So it was a team effort, and it's not winning an Olympic gold medal when you stand on a pedal and wave to the people. We just were delighted we didn't fail, and we have to be very humble about any type of success that comes our way.
Mr. Mechai, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.